The Pack is back, and so is WHTV.
Welcome back, THS, to our first school newscast of the year. So many changes have occurred, and we cannot wait to catch you back up to speed. Let's get into it. With the new school year comes a fresh start. This year, THS has announced new guidelines on COVID-19 masks and more.
Let's go to Carter Winston for more information about the new COVID policies at Timberland.
The World Health Organization announced that dogs can no longer contract COVID-19. Dogs previously held in quarantine will now be released. To be clear, who let the dogs out? This is Carter Winston reporting for WHTV, and we're going to take a look at some new policy changes here at Timberland High School.
Last year, many of my clubs had to come up with new ways of showing and representing our school, such as when we did help desk for theater, we had to create alterations and we did it virtual.
Examples of COVID-19 policy changes can be found on the Wentzville School District website under COVID-19.
This year we got to go to homecoming, which we've never been able to do before, and it was a lot of fun. We got to go with all of our friends. It was a lot of fun dancing with everybody.
I do think, though, we're getting better at being flexible and adjusting and learning and changing minute to minute sometimes on what the health department requires from us or what the state requires from us. I also think I have a great support system here at Timberland, which makes all the difference. So our teachers, our staff, our secretaries, our administrators, we have my health service aide, Colleen, who works with me. I could not do my job without them.
That'll be all for COVID-19 policy changes. Now let's head back to the studio.
Timberland football has had a great turnout this year with their greatest comeback.
Let's cut to Brennan for more in-depth information.
Hey Timberland, varsity football is back with some new changes this season. Here's Coach Brown on those changes.
So how this year is different than last year, we're not having to follow some of the same guidelines with wearing masks. We're able to have the crowd back. So Rowdy Wolf Nation, all parents, fans, there's not as many restrictions, provides that atmosphere. It's really fun for the guys to play in. Things like team meals and stuff like that. Things that we do on the field, like last year they were talking about how we were going to have to wear a mask while we were going to play. It seemed like at first, and so a lot of those restrictions are not really applied as they are this year from last year.
The fact that we don't have like mask mandates, so we don't have to wear a mask before practice starts, so you can like breathe before practice. I feel like there's a lot more camaraderie this year because we can actually be, I don't know, like in groups. Like we don't have to worry about being far away from them. Just practice like normal.
So last year was kind of a sad year for football because we couldn't have any fans there. It was just very toned down. We still had fun cheering at the games, but this year with the student section, with the massive crowds that we've had, it's just like a different level. The energy is exceptional and games are so much fun and everybody should come.
The hardest part probably has to be making sure we all know what we're doing, because there's times where because we're not all practicing together, because we got some higher level guys and some lower level guys, but we still all kind of need to know what's going on.
A lot of work goes into football games. Here's how they prepare for them.
So for games, each week we meet as offensive and defensive coaching staffs to go ahead and scout and prepare and think what we think works best for our scheme, trying to set up things for individual players that we think can work well during a game. So from that, we try to just time everything out in practice and see how things were going to look when we think we might play call it and stuff like that. So it's one of those things that's very thoughtful that we look to just hopefully execute when it's come time for a game.
The next varsity football game will be this Friday at 7 p.m. Now, back to the studio.
Every year we are able to play and watch THS sports, but none of that would be possible without the coaches.
Let's go more in depth with Sam.
Teacher and coach Zaire and Jankowski are talking about how they bring respect and leadership into their players' lives.
First off, it's got to be by example. You can't say one thing and do another. Dedication. It's got to be. You can't just pick up a softball or a softball bat and expect to be good.
According to Zaire, one of his biggest goals is to make sure his players and his students are confident.
They're both very upbeat and energized and always wanting the best for every student or player. It has impacted my life because it has brought many friendships into.
He's
very good about being supportive and making sure that we're all working as a team, building the foundations that are needed in order to make all of us individuals into a group and a family.
Here at Timberland High School, 35% of our teachers are also coaches.
It's important for students to be active, especially in a sport or a club at school, because it teaches kids a whole lot more than just solving an equation like I would in a math classroom. It's problem solving like I would teach in the classroom, but a whole different type of problem solving.
According to Jankowski, she highly encourages teammates and students to have bonding activities to get to know each other.
Coaching is very fun. She really likes to just have fun with us, and she is just great.
I would describe it as fun, but also like hardworking, because she does everything she can to make us do the best we can, but still have fun at the same time.
According to Fitness Health, playing a sport can improve your mental health and your overall well-being. Zara and Jankowski both plan to continue to assist our athletes and students in the best way possible. Now back to the
I hope our next Spirit Day is PJs.
Why?
Because I wouldn't have to try so hard to get ready in the morning.
Next up, we have a feature on THS Spirit Wear.
Hello, my name is Jade, and today I'm going to be reporting on Timberland School Spirit. Spirit Days are a way to promote a sense of community and overall improve the atmosphere at school. This year, Timberland's had 23 School Spirit Days so far. Let's see what kind of planning goes into that.
At Timberland, 2 students get elected within the Student Council to be Spirit Commissioners, and 2 students from the Link Club, ran by Mrs. Smith, get chosen to be Spirit Leaders. These students get to decide on the themes for Spirit Days. Spirit Leaders decide on the themes for Timberland's Friday Night Lights football games, and Spirit Commissioners decide on Homecoming Week and fundraising.
So we usually, we first start off really with brainstorming. So a lot of ideas I either get from students who come up to me and like, hey, I think we should do this. Or like they just come in my head, which is really, really weird. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. And then I also just like Google sometimes. We'll like think of something, like if we have a specific theme for the whole week, we'll go through it to make it more specific for other days. Okay.
A survey conducted by Harris Poll found that students with school spirit perform academically better than students who are less involved. The poll also found that 92% of students with school spirit feel that they have a meaningful and connected relationship with their peers. When asked why they enjoyed Spirit Day, THS students have a wide array of answers, but many students said they enjoyed seeing their peers express their creativity and seeing how spirited the school is.
Well, when you put things together and they have more of a rule and a criteria, people are more likely to participate because they understand you've put more of a work in. More work into the Spirit Days instead of just having Blue Day or just a color, but something that has more meaning.
The survey done by Harris Poll also showed that 89% of the principals surveyed directly tied school spirit to higher student achievement.
Purpose of Spirit Day. The purpose of Spirit Day to me is just to show the love and passion that you have for, it can be a sport or just any type of event, and whether that be through anything, basically. Spirit Day is what you want it to be.
Now that you've heard about the school spirit wear that excites students, who pumps up the events?
Let's cut to Aiden for more information about the band.
Band is an important part of our school. For performing at football games and winning awards for our school, here's how they've been doing.
Some of the challenges that I've had in band this year is we're trying to really ramp up like some of our qualifications, I guess. It's like we're trying to do better, and by that we're like always being forced to, like we're being pressured to do better and be the best that we can.
The challenges of having band this year would probably be starting to get the feel for it again after getting around COVID restrictions. It's all mental, really. You just have to stay calm and just perform like you would in practice and not think about it at all.
Get a lot of sleep, eat, drink a lot of water because it's hot outside a lot of times, and just think about the music. A lot of times for the underclassmen, especially this year, you have to calm their nerves because this is their first year ever doing it. So just talking them through things really helps.
So our biggest challenge has been the fact that we are just adapting back into our competitive season, having been off of that routine for an entire year, and also that our freshmen and sophomore have never had the experience to actually compete. So that's been an exciting and new adventure for them as well. They perform really well. We just got done with our first competition at Edwardsville, and they handled themselves with professionalism and class, and it was really exciting to see all of the hard work that we've put into our performance preparation come to life, and for them to get to experience just what it's like to perform underneath the lights in competitive performance.
Band had their first competition at Edwardsville and took third. Band practices from 6:30 to 8 and has an evening rehearsal every week.
October is the annual Breast Cancer Awareness Month, a campaign with the goal to raise awareness about the impact of breast cancer. According to the National Breast Cancer Coalition, it is estimated that 43,600 women and 530 men will die from breast cancer in 2021. To help spread awareness, Timberland will be having a pink out in October to show their support. I need to work on my marketing skills.
Nathan has a scoop on Mr. Oliva.
Hello, my name is Nathan Lerner and I'm from WHTV News. Mr. Oliva is a teacher here at Timberland High School and teaches many classes. He just won an award for Marketing Educator of the Year award.
I was very surprised that I would won such a prestigious award. They only give one out per year, and there's quite a few marketing teachers in the state, so I was very humbled to win it, but excited at the same time. I think DECA goes a long way, along with the marketing classes, in helping many of my students find their career path. I have lots of brand managers and marketing managers and social media people that have all come through this class and found their career and their passion.
According to Jackson Collier, Mr. Oliva really cares for his students, he says. His courses are interesting, hard, and out of the box. He also says Mr. Oliva's classes are set up for the future.
Well, I first took his lead class. I had no idea who Mr. Oliva was, but the class was how to lead effectively, and so as a freshman I thought that sounded like fun. I feel like Mr. Oliva, he's definitely taught me a lot more about the real world than any other class, and I would recommend marketing to anybody just to learn life skills that a lot of these other classes here, don't really focus on. But his class really has been life-changing to me. I've been in his program for 4 years now, and it's been absolutely incredible.
According to Tucker, she now knows what she's going to do in the future. She's also learned how to be an effective leader as a lead officer. For more information about joining DECA and Mr. Oliva's classes, you can contact him at michaeloliva@wsdr4.org.
What's your greatest fear?
Being on camera.
Let's go to Brooke's Man on the Street about students and staff's greatest phobias.
Spooky season is here, and frights are coming from all around, from haunted houses to horror movies. But what types of fears do people have? Fear has long since been associated with October and Halloween since the Celtic festival of Samhain, where it was believed by the Celts that the boundary between living and dead were blurred, according to History.com. Since then, fear is a commodity profited off of in cinema, haunted houses, and other festive events around the fall season. A fear of animals, insects, things related to the environment, heights, blood, and social situations are some of the most common phobias today, with 12.5% adults in the U.S. having a specific phobia, according to Healthline.com.
I have a fear of satellites because I'm scared that they're talking to aliens.
I'm afraid of spiders.
Definitely spiders. Oh yeah.
One of my main ones is definitely underwater predators, specifically sharks. I don't mess with sharks. A realistic fear I have though is that when I die, I would leave the world as a worse place than when I came here.
Butterflies. They scare me so much.
One of my big fears is snakes.
Being kidnapped.
I have a fear of being watched by a duck.
Snakes. Clowns. They're very weird. They have that very sinister laugh. Kind of creepy.
My biggest fear is the ocean. There's just so much that we don't know about the ocean that, why wouldn't you be scared of some things that are in it?
Spiders.
look evil.
My number one fear is heights.
I'm scared of dogs.
Probably dying because I don't know what's after that, and I don't like that uncertainty.
My fear is getting hit by a car.
Being buried alive.
My biggest fear is snakes and my brother.
Who's your brother?
Lucas Lowry.
I am scared of the dark and the silence combined because you never know what's hidden in there.
I would say not having a circle around me, not having people I can rely on, people I can trust.
261 Timberland students and staff weighted on a survey having answers varying from birds to baby dolls, with death and dying being the most common fear at 15.7%. I'm Brooke Benny, back to the studio. We're so happy to be back and hope everyone enjoyed WHTV's first newscast.
Stay classy, Timberland, and remember to
Have a great day.